truth or do the right thing.
Alvin Bragg's going to be the first person to indict a president, probably.
With the best possible family and community influences to shape his experience of the real-world effects.
Get ready for the attack from
a kid who strived for excellence in the classroom and was taught a scholarly and moral, who Donald Trump has already called a racist. Because Alvin Bragg is black and is investigating Donald Trump.
Race baiting his followers, inciting them more
appears to be
to violence.
That black people should not be allowed to investigate Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's why Donald Trump has hurled his racist invective
Thank you, black
at
people,
Alvin Bragg and at District Attorney Fani Willis in Atlanta, Georgia,
taking out the garbage
to possibly indicting Donald Trump. Is the only people allowed to be judges in Trump cases or investigators of Donald Trump are white Republicans
or his appointees.
Who love Donald Trump. But tonight,
or his puppets.
Donald Trump is on the verge of indictment in Manhattan by a district attorney.
Any minute now.
Who was born
indictment watch follow for more.
The same year that Donald Trump was first accused of racist practices by the Justice Department.
Yeah.
By next week, the world could be watching a courtroom drama like we have never seen before.
Yay! Grab your popcorn,
folks. The anointed one seems like too exalted a label to take seriously in the real world.
Well, Lawrence, it does appear that D.A. Bragg is going to wrap up this grand jury presentation. The question is, what are the charges that he is going to present, and when is he going to present them? After the grand jury takes a vote, it is hopeful that they will vote to indict him and not return a no true bill, in which case the next question is, at what point will that be presented to a judge for unsealing and ultimately Donald Trump's arraignment? But it does appear that right now we're at the point that Alvin Bragg is wrapping up his witnesses. I know Stormy Daniels has yet to testify. I do not anticipate that her testimony will be as long as Michael Cohen's, but it is important to have everything put in front of that grand jury, and then they will make the decision based on the charges that are put in front of them, whether to return a no true bill or a true bill on the indictment, and Alvin Bragg will then make history by having indicted and moved forward with the prosecution of a former United States president.
According to the practices you're aware of in district attorney's offices in New York City, News, the call, which was first reported in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, lasted about 10 minutes. Corrs said she recalled that Trump asked Speaker Ralston who would stop him from holding a special session, and according to Corrs, Speaker Ralston responded, "A federal judge, that's who." And so
we had said we heard multiple phone calls, and that was one of the most captivating details. What multiple phone calls? Well, it looks like there are now 2 or 3, and that, from a prosecutor's point of view, is just killer evidence. But it does show, with some very good reporting in the Atlanta paper, as you mentioned, and it showed them to be cohesive, clearly sympathetic to the witnesses that are most hostile to Trump, be massive. So actual grand jury that sits starting very soon will process the evidence. But based on what not just the 4-person, but these 5 have now said, it's coming at Trump like a freight train, and a freight train with many cars on it. This, in contrast to the Bragg indictment, which I think is going to be returned on Monday, is really a complex, sprawling case involving not just Trump, but all the president's men as well, probably about 15 people.
Arrested.
Well, that presents more of a practical question in terms of how this will be handled. He absolutely would have to be arrested first in order to be arraigned on this indictment. That's just something that's unavoidable. Now, whether we do Secret Service protection,
Secret Service is going to go with him to jail.
Will they be with him in the holding cell before he is brought
unless we disqualify him so he's off of the public perks.
It will have to be arrested before he is arraigned, because that will make him a formal part of the criminal justice system as a defendant.
Diapered on in cuffs. Can't wait.
And it's a really important point because we are fixated on what's going to be the first, but in a few months it's going to feel different. There will be two, maybe as you suggest, from Jack Smith, 3 cases, and it'll just be a whole minefield for Trump. And I think who actually went first will recede in importance at that point, and it'll be sort of all over a kind of national minefield for the former president. Why don't you just
declare yourself, try to plead insane so you can get away with the death penalty?
What the nature of the evidence is against Donald Trump in a Manhattan case.
In America, there is equal justice under the law. And I think that is what is being put on trial here as much as Donald Trump and as much as any of these particular lawsuits that may be brought against him.
Taking advantage of the system, venue shopping,
at least the last running for 6 years
president just so he can try to avoid prison.
Also, before he even got into the presidency, he was an example of rich and powerful men being able to game the system and not feel the brunt of justice that anyone else would have felt, and anyone else does feel. And anyone who is on the lower rungs of the ladder in America knows that they have to know
the DOJ.
Right? You have to know the law backwards and forwards to make sure that you don't run afoul of it. Because if you do,
justice denied.
Justice will come at you swiftly and it will be harsh. What they have been able to watch with Donald Trump is someone for whom that has not applied. We have had these crazy, outdated rules about whether or not a president can be charged while he's in office, or how close to an election that can be charged,
and can you investigate someone.
Well, Donald Trump is going to take advantage of all those
to our detriment.
Rules
the worst criminal in human history.
Kind of traps. And that's exactly what he's done. And he continues to do that.
Happy St. Patty's Day, motherfucker.
We're not. And that is the point here. If Bragg or if the prosecutor here in Atlanta or if people at the DOJ have evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime and are dragging their feet for any reason.
Preach it,
brother. That is itself an assault on the rule of law.
Yes, thank you.